Hello everybody, just thought I'd do something a little different today. Had a bunch of people bragging that their beer was so good at work. So I found out how they did it, and come to find out they used Mr. Beer, and that's what I have here. It's a Mr. Beer keg. Pretty nice little contraption here, used for fermentation. Comes with everything you need. It came with 8 bottles, which I'll get out later. But came with the no rinse cleaner and the yeast packet. And this is dry ale yeast. It also came with the 2 mixers. Oh yeah, I should say that when I was looking through, I also found out that they make cider, so I love cider, so I decided to get a cider kit instead of a beer kit. But I can make beer in this after I'm done. Since it's not amber colored, I'll have to keep it covered up, but other than that, came with some pretty detailed instructions right here. So let's get to it. The first thing it does is sanitization. It tells me to fill the keg up to the 4-quart mark right here, and it's got measurements here for looks like 4, 6, and 8 quarts. This makes a total of 2 gallons. So it says to use a half a package of no rinse cleaner. Let's open it up here. A little bit more in. Should be about half a package, and I'll set this aside for later, for whenever we sanitize the bottles. Okay, so the next step is they say to close this. They say to do this over the sink because this has air vents in it, but I'm going to try to do it as carefully as possible. I've got a tub here full of my utensils, so shouldn't be too bad. Let's try to get this more dissolved. And all these utensils are going to be eventually be sanitized as well. So let's give it a swoosh, get all the inside sterilized here. Going to make sure that the inside of the lid gets sterilized as well, so I'm just going to flip it around like this. And that should just about do it. And the next one is to open the spigot into a bowl, which I'm using this pan instead. So let's actually fill this pan with what's in here. That way it'll sterilize the spigot. I've been told that this sanitizer is actually reusable as well if you save it. But I need to double check that with Mr. Beard. After this is all drained, I'll be filling it with water, the keg itself, and I'll be letting these utensils sit. This is a no rinse cleanser, of course, so it kind of has a soapy feel to it, but they say it's fine. It actually helps the yeast. Make sure it's off. I'm going to let these set in the sanitizing solution. For a good while. So now we're supposed to get some water here. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have my water already in my keg over here. And right now I'm boiling the water to mix in to make the must. Okay. So once it starts to boil, remove it from the heat. And then we put in 1.5 cups of sugar. There's one. Sterilized. And there's a half. Now that's well sanitized right there. And of course, everything in this pot is sanitized now because it was boiling. I'm done with the sugar. I'm going to take my spoon. Don't want to lay that down there. We're going to open our cider mix. That's not good. Make sure you don't drop the... Well, this is sanitized now too. We'll put the other one in there. I'm going to get some hot water and rinse these out with them. I want to make sure I get every bit of it. That should be good. Oh yeah, this was initially started out with 4 cups to bring it to a boil. So adding this little bit of amount won't really harm it any. Now we mix all this together. Make sure the sugar gets dissolved. This is the must. It's the same thing as when you're making beer. They call it wort. But this is with fruit juice. So it's called a must. We're going to get this well stirred. Make sure all the sugar is dissolved. Sorry if there's too much noise there to hear. Ooh, it smells good. This is what we're going to be adding the yeast to. Okay. I really wish I had my thermometer here, but I don't know where my thermometer is. Because the keg comes with a warning on it not to pour anything hotter than 140 degrees into it. That's Fahrenheit. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened to my thermometer. But we'll just do our best. Okay? Probably good to have a set of looks like the wife moved them. I was going to get a pair of gloves, but they're gone. There's my thermometer. Give that good sanitization. There we go. It's been zipped in the sanitizer. Right, it's just a little bit under 130, so we should be good. I'm going to grab a couple of these. I'm going to take it back over, put it in, and once I carry it over there, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the keg. Be right back. Okay, so we're back at the keg. Now we're going to try to pour this in there without getting anything all over the place. So here we go. Okay. Now, we go ahead and fill it all the way up by adding more cold water. I'm going to add it with the pan, so I can try to get as much of the must out as possible as well. And it's been sanitized. And it looks like I need a little more. I'm getting this water out of a 5-gallon water bubbler. So looks like 8.5. Try to keep everything clean. My hands in the sanitizer again. Okay. Now we're going to stir it up again. We'll get all that water and must mixed together. It actually says in the instructions to stir vigorously. Oops. You shouldn't do that. That's why I sanitize my hands. Okay, now the only thing left to do is to open the yeast. I'm going to use a pair of scissors that are sanitized. I'm sanitizing the scissors. Then I'm going to cut this yeast open. Here we go. Now, here's the moment of truth. This is what causes the fermentation. These little boogers will eat all that sugar in there. Oh. look at them go. Remember, this is not baker's yeast. This is ale yeast. There is a difference. It's bred differently. And screw the lid on. Then it says to let it do its work. Like I said, this will produce alcohol and carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide will vent out through this lid. If it doesn't vent out through that lid, it'll explode. So, we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to keep this in my garage. Nice dark place. And then I'll be back in about 7 days and we'll see what happens. I think if I were to do this again, I think I would use 1 gallon jugs, or the biggest gallons I could, or the biggest gallon size I could find of water, just so I wouldn't have to go back and forth all the time to my 5-gallon water jug. But other than that, it was pretty easy. Well, I'll see you in about 7 days, and we'll see what happens. Catch you later. Bye.